Your customers aren't coming back because the hard truth is you're not memorable. The simple truth is you haven't even given them a reason to come back. And oftentimes people think, oh, well, I have my service or I have my product and they need that and that should be enough. Well, the thing is, you're not the only one selling that service or product. As of today, there are over 36 million small businesses in the US, and there is about 5 million new businesses being added each year. So the question is, how do you make yourself memorable and how do you differentiate your business from everybody else's business that sells the same service or product that you do? So welcome back to Tea with D, Entrepreneurship Unfiltered. Today we are talking about real world examples that have made me either become a customer or continue to make me a customer over and over again. So let's get into it. So you have 50 million rules, policies, terms, and conditions, but the question is, when the shoe is on the other foot and you as the business owner, you're in the wrong and your customer is in the right, do you still hold yourself accountable? So I have a loctician that I see every month, every other month. And this one appointment, I was about 5-10 minutes early, but I sat in the parking lot and I noticed like her car wasn't there. But I'm not thinking anything of it. I've never experienced a time where she was late. However, she does have a policy where if you are more than 10 minutes late, there's an additional fee. If you're, let's say, 15 minutes late, then the appointment is canceled, respectfully so. I'm aware of this as a customer and I understand the policy exists for a reason. But this particular day, she had texted me letting me know that she was going to be late. But even though she was going to be late, I didn't think anything of it. Like, she's always been on time every other time. And the experience overall is always great. So me being lenient with her was no big deal. But you do have to understand that every customer isn't me. Every customer isn't going to be lenient. So it's in those circumstances, how do you hold yourself as a business owner accountable? At the end of that appointment, I asked what was the remaining balance. And then she let me know she was taking X amount of money off because she was late. In that moment, one, that was nothing that I expected because it's oftentimes unheard of, right? That's a key way to make yourself different because sometimes you have to go outside of what your industry standard is. In that specific industry, the hair industry, is not common for someone to hold themselves accountable in that manner. It's not common for you to give a discount because you were in the wrong. An apology, yes. Acknowledging it, yes. But in that moment, she took it a step above by providing me a discount. Now, here's the thing, because you may be thinking, well, I'm not giving anybody no money off. Like, I need all my coins. Great, and that's understandable. But in addition to the money that she was taking off, I gave her that because one, I wasn't expecting it. Two, life happens, and she was accountable and acknowledged it, right? So in addition to giving her the money that I was going to give her anyways, initially, I also still gave her a tip. So in the end, there was no money lost from her, but also I end up feeling more value as a customer, more than just a dollar sign or a number. And that's the thing, you have to make your customers feel like they're more than just a dollar sign, more than just the person paying your bills. I oftentimes see, especially online, where entrepreneurs say, well, I still have bills to pay. They don't understand that I have overhead, I have this. And it's like, at the end of the day, nobody cares. Yes, that is a part of entrepreneurship, but that's something you signed up for at the very beginning. What customers care about is, one, can you provide the service or product that they need to solve their problem? And then taking it a step above by doing something such as holding yourself accountable, by making them feel valued, that's going to keep them coming over and over again, where you don't have to sit there and think about, oh, I have bills to pay. Just as much as a business owner, I don't want to be inconvenienced. On the other side of that, as a consumer, I also don't want to be inconvenienced as well. But that experience alone made that inconvenience smaller than it already was. And it made me want to continue having her as a loctician and continue coming to her over and over again. And word of mouth marketing is still huge. So I'm able to tell other people about this experience, which will then make people want to go to her because, again, in that industry, it's not necessarily something something that people commonly do. Now, being memorable doesn't only consist of customers that you already have. How can you be memorable and stand out with potential customers as well? This next example is where I was recently at an event and there was a lot of vendors and I was walking around looking for lemonade. Now me, I get really overwhelmed in certain settings, and that was one of them. It was a lot of vendors in this small section. It was people everywhere. You couldn't really walk through. It was a lot going on, and at that point I had kind of like checked out and I was ready to go. However, there was this young gentleman. He walked up to me and he said, "I'll give you this lemonade in exchange for a follow." Now the first thing I noticed was this was a full-size lemonade. Oftentimes when you're at vendor events, you may see someone giving out like small samples, which is nothing wrong with that. But again, how do you stand out? How do you make yourself memorable? In this instance, they were giving out full-size products. I understand as small business owners that may not always be feasible, right? And again, you may be thinking about, well, I'm losing out on money. But let's focus on the bigger picture, right? So in this instance, he gave me a full-size lemonade in exchange for a follow. In addition to growing their following on Instagram, they are also gaining potential clients, again, focusing on staying visible. Now that I follow them, it's not out of sight, out of mind. It's not when I leave this vendor event, I no longer remember who I came across, what I purchased. I now have them on my social media where they're going to continuously come up, right? Visibility. In addition to that, I was able to experience their product for the first time. I was also able to have a conversation with them to get to know more about their business, one of which they were able to let me know that they're in grocery stores, convenience. So not only as a customer am I able to try their product for the first time, I now follow them, so they're constantly going to, even if I forget about them, I'm going to remember them when I see them pop up. And then when I'm grocery shopping, I now have in the back of my mind that they're in grocery stores that I go to anyways, so I can be on the lookout for them. And all of this came from an interaction where they just went a little beyond what their competitors were doing. Because there was a lot of other people out there with lemonade and drinks and different things, but not only were they giving this product out, they were walking up to people. Oftentimes at vendor events, we see the person staying behind, or even like I mentioned with giving out small samples, they're not too far from their booth and they may have a tray. All of that is great and dandy, but how can you take it a step further? They came to us. I was simply walking on by, not even thinking or looking around, and they stopped me in my tracks. Get in front of your customers, visibility. And you may be sitting here asking yourself, okay, but you could then go and unfollow them. Absolutely. But that experience was so great. Why would I? And plus the lemonade was good too. So again, why would I, right? Overall, as a business owner, if you truly want to grow, you have to stop looking at things through a negative lens, right? That negative lens is saying, oh, I'm not giving out this full-size product because I don't make any money off of it. But just imagine how many more that I've already bought or intend to buy just from that interaction from going to the grocery store, which I have to go to anyways. Looking at it through a negative lens is saying, I'm not going the extra mile to come out from behind my booth because people who want to shop with me will shop with me. Looking at it through a negative experience is saying, I'm not exchanging this for a follow because they can simply unfollow me. But think about the ones who stay with you. Think about the ones who buy over and over. Think about the ones that is now making a YouTube video telling the entire world how great of an experience this was. So overall, when you're thinking about how you can make customers experience your brand and potential customers as well, you have to let go the, oh, this won't work, oh, this can't happen, oh, I'm wasting money, and focus on the bigger picture. Through every touch point of your business, you should be giving them an experience. I recently followed a brand strategist on Instagram. What she said in the comment section of a post interested me, right? That's that initial attraction. I went and looked at her page. From her page, again, staying visible, you never know who's looking, you never know who's going to come across your page. I like the content that she was making, the things that she was posting, and at that time it wasn't that I was necessarily interested in the service that she was offering, but I saw an opportunity to network with another service provider, support each other, so I followed her. And even if she didn't follow me back, that was a-okay. Again, another example of an entrepreneur taking it above and beyond. Oftentimes, especially this day and age with ManyChat existing, you may follow somebody and then you'll automatically get a message asking you to join their community. Click on the link. This one was non-transactional. She sent me an audio message. So that right there is going above and beyond. This is not your typical message that somebody is just going to read or not read and disregard it, not respond back. Now this is going to pique my interest and make me question, what do she have to say, right? Upon listening to this message, she was welcoming me. And another thing is, this wasn't just like a generic cookie cutter message. Her message was so personable that I understood that even if it was less than a minute long, she took time out her day to not only just look at who followed her, discover what they also had to offer, what their possible interest was, and tailor a welcome message towards that. Again, making people feel seen, making them feel heard, making them feel valued. So because of that, I was excited to respond back to her. Again, oftentimes I don't necessarily respond to all of these messages because most of them are cookie cutter. Most of them are probably sent by ManyChat. But this one, again, I knew she took time out her day. So I sent her a voice note back, telling her thank you, telling her how much I appreciated the welcome message in general. And she also asked me questions just to learn more about me, in which I was able to respond. In that conversation of us sending messages back and forth, she was able to see that some of our thought processes and where we are in our journey aligned, in which she was able to let me know, like, hey, I work with other service-based businesses, so I keep you on top of mind based on what your service offerings are when anyone that I know needs them. And vice versa, I'm like, okay, well, anybody who needs your services, I keep you top of mind as well. Now, in addition to us having this small interaction, now we've introduced word of mouth marketing where we can then pitch each other, right? And this all came from one simple welcome message that she took time out of her day to send. Is this to say that you should go and do exactly what she did? Absolutely not. You should do what works for you and your business. But again, how can you take it up a notch from what is commonly being done in your industry or even what's commonly being done today? In 3 instances alone, I've been made to either feel like I want to be a customer over and over again, I want to be a new customer of a business, or I want to work with someone simply because of how they made me feel. If your customers feel valued, they will continue to come back, and you don't have to ask yourself, where are my customers? Why is no one coming back? And in the past, we've discussed loyalty programs or referral programs, which are all great. But again, it's about taking it up a notch. So I want you to ask yourself, what are you currently doing in your business that you feel like is memorable or is maybe just doing enough, and how you can take it up one step to make your customers never forget you. And in addition to that, tell other people about this great experience as well. What is something that you can do that steps outside of the box of your industry or the norms of your industry? What can you do to differentiate your business, yourself, beyond just the products and services that you have? Again, remember, there are millions of small business owners. There are millions who probably have the same exact business or skill set that you do. Sometimes it's the small nuances that you think people don't notice that they actually do. So let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, stay tuned for more with T with D, Entrepreneurship Unfiltered. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you here next time.